welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. This is a game that gave me a little bit of a chuckle between two players in the League of Silver. Up here at the top left side of the map, representing Protoss, all in blue, is our friend J Pizzle, or JP. And down here at the bottom right side of the map, we can see our red Zerg player, Curly, from SP3C2, which possibly means something, but I have no idea what. You can see he has the cool little clan logo there for people who are awesome enough to be in a clan and have a clan logo. Down here we have JP putting up his first pylon, probably going to put some buildings up along here to do a forge fast expand, or at the very least to block off a little bit to help with those Zergling run-bys. And it looks like Curly is going to go for the ever-popular Proxy hatch in your opponent's base play, which is not something that I've seen a lot. And whether or not it gets spotted, whether or not it goes well for him, I'm very excited to see how that plays out. It should be pretty awesome. It looks like JP is looking around a little bit for that drone, so he probably knows that something is up. We'll see if he spots that or not. Down here you can see that it looks like that forge is building. He'll probably go ahead and throw down a gateway soon, since you can see his money's getting up there. Probably go ahead and throw down a cannon once. Oh, he canceled it. I wonder if that was on purpose or not. Well, he started rebuilding it, so it probably was not on purpose, which is unfortunate, because those take a little while to build. But in any case, we have our proxy hatch growing right up here. We have our two probes to try and clean that up. The problem being that JP doesn't actually have any units at this point. We have Curly down here, who probably isn't going for Zerglings from that hatch, since he does not yet have a spawning pool. The hatchery has finished. It has a little rally point here, and it looks like he is making a drone. Looks like JP just barely places that pylon down before the creep reaches it. Naturally, once the creep is there, he will not be able to build anything, so we'll see if that pylon can finish quickly enough that he can put down some cannons and maybe help fend that off a bit. It looks like this drone is going to attack to the best of his abilities. And, oh, there goes down one cannon too, just before the creep gets there, which is great. I believe that those will be able to hit this here and hopefully clean it up, although he does have true, very fierce looking drones who look like they are on the attack now, which is not something that you see. Oh, no wait, I guess they're just gonna mine minerals from his base, which seems a little bit like adding insult to injury, but you know what, I guess that's fine. If he wants to build a hatchery to mine 10 minerals with a couple drones, then I guess that is his call. It looks like these two cannons are going to hit that and probably be able to clean that up, if not with the help of this zealot here who's hanging out. We see that there is another zealot on the way, and he does have this cannon here, which will hit anything that bothers him or tries to run in his base, and a second one just for safety. Cyber Core going down to help block. Neither of them as yet have Vespene geysers. Curly does at this point have his spawning pool up, but you see this has been cleaned up by these cannons. These drones still trying to make something happen, but not going to be able to do so. With this zealot running around here trying to kill them, and with this creep receding. And the cannons continuing to protect what small amount of creep they can build on. That little larva just pops into nothing, and this drone sits here just hoping that that zealot won't notice him. We still do not have an expansion from our friend Curly here. He definitely has the money to do it. We'll see if we see Zerglings or Speedlings coming up from him, although he does not have gas to get speed or really any kind of upgrades beyond just basic Zerglings at this point. So we'll see what he decides to do. It looks like he is making a queen, which is probably a good call. Get those injects and get the extra larva to make drones or Zerglings, or I guess overlords, whatever he wants that is in tier 1. It looks like this drone is just going to sit here and not be noticed, but it doesn't appear to be causing too much trouble. There's the Zealot running around, probably going to head back to the front. See, he's got 2 Zealots here to block off the remainder of this opening, just to make sure that any Zerglings who run up will not be a problem, and will not be able to get through with this very fearsome barrier of Zealots. He does have Warp Gate research going, which is great because it's a huge upgrade. It looks like he has started it a little late because of that Proxy hatchery nonsense that happened. Finally gets that expansion up, so he's looking like he's in pretty good shape. JP's probably going to take a lead economically here. And it looks like Curly has a lot of minerals here, still no gas. Not sure what exactly his plan is for all of these minerals, especially since he's still... Let me take a look at the units tab. So far it is 1 queen, 24 drones, 4 overlords versus 4 zealots and 21 probes. And it looks like his plan is to go ahead and go mass spine crawler. We'll see how many he decides to make. I guess that's not so much the units tab as the structures tab. So we'll see how many he decides to do, but it looks like he's got, you know, at least a dozen here building, so he will certainly be very defended. Oh, he's building more. From any ground attack that JP does decide to launch his way, so we'll see what he decides to do with those. Maybe he'll use them to defend his expansion. I don't know, we'll see. This drone is still sitting here. It looks like that zealot is going to head over and kill it finally. Oh, no, the cannons do get the kill. Poor drone. He's got a couple workers coming up on his base down here. He has this wall off looking pretty good, pretty fearsome, especially given that our Zerg player does not currently have any attacking units. He does have, it looks like, 18 of those spine crawlers so far, but they do not do well if you do not bury them on creep. So, gosh, that is a lot of spine crawlers. That's just so silly to watch. I guess his plan is to go mass spine crawler and just be very, very defended for the rest of the game. This is kind of a long game, so I am going to go ahead and speed up a little bit. It looks like he's going to go ahead and go robo. JP's going to add on those gateways. Go ahead and get Vespine geysers producing so that he can afford to make all of those very fearsome robots. He's getting his robotics base so that he can get those Colossus, which are great against Zerglings. If Curly had Zerglings, what he does have are just a lot of spine crawlers. You can see his count is now up to 30, which, if he had creep over near this base, would actually possibly be enough to end the game if he just had a set of creep here so that he could attack with his spine crawlers. Maybe he'll get those upgrades for his overlords so that he can dump creep on the ground up here. Maybe he'll try and build a hatchery up close to his enemy's base. We will see what the plan is. The problem might be that it looks like JP has actually got a couple of void rays, which the spine crawlers will be unfortunately very, very ineffective against. JP securing that third base. Curly has not yet expanded, but it looks like he is going to have 55 spine crawlers at this point. And it looks like he has... what does he have for queens? He has 1 queen still. If I were going to try and do a push like that and I had this many spine crawlers, I would definitely try and have queens or really any other attacking units, especially queens though, since they could spread this creep and let me move my spine crawlers around. It looks like he is finally going to try and put up an expansion now that his main is almost mined out. We have a hallucinated phoenix for JP who sees this. Now Curly's going to put up a couple spore crawlers which are going to help him against the void rays, although I don't know that having, what is that, 4 of them? Yeah, 4 spine crawlers is or spore crawlers, excuse me, 4 spore crawlers is really going to be able to do it versus 4 void rays. We'll see what he can make happen. He is going to finally throw down those Vespene geysers. He is up to 56 spine crawlers, 2 hatcheries, and we'll take a look at the units tab. 2 queens, but still no real attacking units, which could be a mistake. We'll see over here JP does have that 4th base up, mostly just getting that supplemental gas for his massive air force, since he does now know that his enemy is going mass spine crawler. Puts a proxy pylon here, although Curly has set down, it looks like 3 hatcheries just in the middle of the map, probably just to spread that creep. But you can see they are spotted pretty quickly. The Zealots do take them out. At this point he still only has 2 queens, so that's as much as he can really spread this creep upwards. There is a rather large attack now. I'll go ahead and slow down for that. You can see the spine crawlers, not all of which are burrowed, are really trying to make something happen against these Zealots. Which they do, because, let's face it, 1,000,000 spine crawlers are probably really great against a handful of Zealots. The unburrowed spine crawlers are going to move up along the creep. There is still this proxy pylon here where he has the option of sort of warping things in. Although he might be able to hit that pylon with his spine crawlers. It looks like it might be just out of range. But look at all of them just trying to burrow right here and to get along this ledge so that they can defend from hopefully any attacks. He is going to put up some additional hatcheries, which will help with his creep spread, which is fairly essential at this point. The spine crawlers do take out that 1 stalker there. And oh my gosh, JP has a DT and Archons, Void Rays. I don't think he has enough anti-air to really make this work. He has another hallucinated Phoenix to scout, but I think he could just outright win the game. He's got to be really, really confused at this point as to why there are, at this point, 42 spine crawlers. It looks like he did lose some in the Zealot attack. And really, still no units except for those 2 queens. He has plenty of money. He could easily just pump out queens or Zerglings, or really anything that isn't spine crawlers at this point would probably be an improvement, or at the very least would help supplement his spine crawler push. You do see that there are rocks here, so he can't really move these up without making them very vulnerable along this creep line. It looks like JP is massing up his 15 Archons to go try and deal with this problem. We'll see if these spine crawlers can make something happen here. And it does look like the engagement commences. The spine crawlers are just being taken out by the Colossus, Void Ray, Archon army. Looks like they do kill a couple of the Archons there, so he does have that going for him, but it looks like, if you look at the structures tab, these are dropping. He's down to 9 spine crawlers. He's just going to keep making them, though. You'll see that his plan is to just continue making spine crawlers until the end of the game. And it doesn't seem to be working out too well for him. I just wanted to put this up because I thought it was so silly and ridiculous that he made those many. Look, he says spine crawlers are underpowered here. Apparently an army of them does not do very well against a full group of Protoss units. He's going to make some spore crawlers to try and help with those Void Rays, because that really is his problem at this point. I mean, the Void Rays and all of the other units, really. So now he just has a handful of spine crawlers, which are going to be taking damage anyway because they're off creep. But he has these last couple bases, which are probably going to get taken out pretty easily. It looks like he is all out of spine crawlers. He does not have any units aside from drones and an overlord, which is not going to help him at all. JP is maxed out and probably is still pretty confused. Oh, it looks like he does have 1 spine crawler here who is not burrowed, which is not going to help him out. But in any case, it looks like this game is pretty much done. I just really like seeing games where people do silly stuff like this, and I hope that you guys get to have some silly games like this at some point. It looks like the drones are going to try and defend. However, they are not morphing into spine crawlers, probably because they don't have enough money to do so. And now this last base is found. And that's probably going to be the game. So if you guys have any fun or interesting games that you'd like to share with me, I'd love to see them. You can send them to noobcrafted@gmail.com. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this bit of silliness. I know it made me happy, and hopefully it gave you guys a little bit of a smile. Enjoy laddering, and I'll talk to you guys next time.